I helped take a consulting company from $300K a month to $1 million a month in around 18 months. And the numbers were so healthy that they got proposed to become an acquisition.com portfolio company. And because I was so involved in the operations and day-to-days of this company, I was actually also helping their own clients. And I was exposed to a bunch of different businesses in a bunch of different income levels. So not only was I helping their clients, I was also helping them, because my exposure with so many businesses in different income levels, I saw key distinctions and key habits from those businesses. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what those key habits were that kept businesses at 10K, kept businesses at 100K, and that same business that helped at $1 million a month. And again, what did those businesses do that were at 10K that took them to the next level, the 100K to the next level, and so on? And in my own consulting company, I have clients in very similar ranges as well. We have clients over in the 400K a month range. Those just starting out making 10K a month, 20K a month, 80K a month, and 100K a month. So when I was helping these companies that are basically just starting out, getting a foot in the door of online business, online coaching, or whatever it is that they were doing in making their first 10K or 20K a month, the biggest habit that I saw with them was that they wanted things very quickly. And this made them stuck in a way that they were always seeking out a hack or the next course that they could take that they thought that was going to take them to the next level, because that was their mindset. Maybe they had some very quick success with what they were doing at that moment, and they thought that success just came in quickly. That's not always the case. And if you're a mature business owner, just like me, you also know that business doesn't come quickly. It's not a one night success. It's a lot of work that happens throughout a bunch of days, and then there's one inflection point that brings the money, brings the success. But with these clients, or even with my clients, I see it all the time. When they're just starting out, they usually seek out a tactic, a hack. And this is why you see a lot of people in the beginner businesses or gurus selling to beginners how it's the fastest way to make 10K a month, or the best way, the best business model to do this. Because people at those levels, the way they think, the habit that they have is the habit of jumping from thing to thing. And I say this all the time in my channel, is the habit of Frankensteining a business. So a Frankenstein of ideas. So maybe they see a YouTube video that says the fastest way to 10K is drop shipping. So they try drop shipping, but then they see another influencer that they like, and then this influencer said, I tried drop shipping, that didn't work. This is what I do now and what I recommend for that, so that you can get to 10K as quick as possible. And it's sitting. And then the other one says, no, it's closing, it's remote closing. And then the other one says it's arbitrage and editing and everything. So the habit, which is a toxic habit of these people in this level of business, is they're just like leapfrogging from idea to idea. And what they don't realize, maybe until later in life, is that this is just taking away valuable time from their life. And in this business that I was helping, and these clients that were just starting out, I also saw that they were always asking me, hey, what's the best hooks that I can use for content to go viral? Or what's the best video visual hook that I can use in ads so I can get better CTR just as quick as possible? Or I saw this today with a client. He was showing me how a peer of him or a colleague of him was trying specific type of landing pages and how he got 15 calls from that landing page. And I had to stop him on his track and say, listen, dude, you have to be very careful about what you hear out there, because what people share, it's usually just their wins. I've been part of many mentorship programs, and even in that specific business that I was helping, I always saw both sides of the coin. I saw the side of people always sharing the wins, how much money they made, how many clients they signed, how many back-end offers they had, their ads are crushing it. But I also saw the second side of the coin when they came to me for help and they shared all the bad stuff that was happening in their life, in their business, or maybe they felt like, you know what, I'm going to share that I made this amount of money, but in the back end, it's like they broke even, or they're still in debt, and they don't share those things. So I had to stop my client at the time, because the other habit that I see with this type of clientele is overthinking. They see something that worked for somebody else and they overthinking about their self journey. What they're doing, is it working? Is it not working? Am I priced correctly? Am I priced incorrectly? Am I doing the right offer? Am I doing the right thing to get attention? Am I doing the right thing to monetize this attention? Do I have the right systems in place? And they're always overthinking. And by the way, a quick parenthesis, if you're wondering what to do for attention, what to do for monetization, and what to do for operations, I actually have a full-on video that I actually dissect everything I do for my clients. Obviously for free, it's here on YouTube, it's down in the description below. But that's the second habit I see with those businesses in the 10K a month, is obviously wanting to do everything quick because they feel like everything has to be quick and easy and fast. The second thing is overthinking, and obviously something that I feel like everyone suffers with in every single step in business or stage in business is obviously it's just the fact that you're not good enough. It's, you know, that imposter syndrome, and it's very true. I've had clients in the past that were more successful than I was, and I've had mentors that are obviously way more successful than I am, and they're always also thinking if they're doing enough. They're always asking me. For example, I had a mentor ask me, hey dude, like, are you happy with the program? Do you feel like we're giving you enough? I don't feel like we're giving you enough, etc. And it's normal. So, but I wanna address that habit now with the 10K business, is because you have to understand that when you're starting in business, you're going to feel like you're not capable. And that's a feeling that never goes away. I want to really tackle that from the beginning, because people at 100K a month or $1 million a month, they understand, like they're probably been through this a while. So they understand that feeling inadequate, it's completely normal. But that's with the 10K a month business. But once they start putting in the reps, building in the business, actually doing a lot of content, getting into more sales calls, getting in more people in the program, they start to realize that to get from 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K, 80K to consistent 100K months, it's not about tactics. It's actually about a long-term strategy that's going to get them to the next level. So when it comes to businesses hovering in 100K to, I want to say 400K a month, they are not looking for the next course. They're not looking for the next modules to watch, because they're mature enough to understand that they are buying time, and they can't waste time learning something from a course that they bought, that's a self-paced course, or a program that has, you have to go into a Zoom call with 40 people inside a call that you can even ask questions because there's so many people, and then the person who's running the call just goes on tangents about what things to teach today, or the book that he's reading and something he learned, and it really serves no purpose other than you wasting your time. And it's speaking to you is if you're in this range. So the habit that really keeps people in that 100 to 40K a month is that they're not looking for a course, they're looking for a module, but now they're looking for more hand-on-hand implementation. They need a consulting business, they need a partner, they need somebody to get them to that next level. And now they might buy a course, they might buy, modules or anything, but they will probably give that to somebody in their team. So most of my clientele is in about this range. So the 80, 100K, 120, 400K a month. Most of my clientele is in that range. And while they understand that I'm not going to push buttons and pull levers, they do appreciate when we all get together, me as a partner, and we get our hands dirty. We actually dissect the business together. We look at things together. We look at ads together. We look at VSLs together, messaging, content, how they're speaking to clients, client essential models, all those things. And that's how I operate in my business as a consultant with other businesses, because these clients in the 100K a month, they really appreciate some hand holding, and they really appreciate having some sort of foundational content or education that they can give out to their team. So for example, in one of my clients, I helped them train their closer, and now their closer is breaking records in the company, because it wasn't the CEO of the company actually training the salesperson, but us together working as a partner, and that works really well. So the habit that is very indicative of businesses in this area of profit is the habit of working together, the habit of understanding that business growth isn't about tactics, it's about strategy. Why? Because they understand the tactics come quick but die quicker. Tactics like follower ads or tactics like B-roll content that gets a lot of views, they die quick, and that's not something you can build a solid business on. It's a foundation built on sand. These business owners understand that. They understand that they need a partner. They understand that they need to clone their brain, or to give some of that brain power to a consultant outside of the business, so they can look at the business from a different angle and they can work together to move the business forward. And the other cool thing about the habit of these businesses is that they don't look at business in like 30 days or 1 week sprints. They look at it mostly as 90 days or quarter sprints or semester sprints most of the time. And it's a really cool thing to work with this type of business, because they're building the team, they're building that enterprise feel of a business, and it's pretty awesome. Now, the business is doing $1 million a month. They're obviously a different breed. They have probably a huge team. They've worked with agencies before. They've probably had a marketing agency before, a content agency before. And then they started to realize that doing those things and outsourcing those things is probably what's eating a lot of their profit. And the habit that I see with these people is that they actually bring talent in-house and they start building a solid team with different departments. So the company that I was helping with, I actually helped them build the structure of the company, more so in the marketing area. So we had paid marketing, we had organic marketing, they had a sales team, they had a sales leader, they had setters, they had a setters leader. Obviously they had the CEO and the COO working together, more of like the brain. They had client success managers, they had the head of client success, and everyone worked in a silo, but as a part of a bigger machine. So the habit that I saw in $1 million a month businesses, everything that I just said, they look at businesses in years and decades, not in semesters. Obviously, sometimes there's quick sprints that we had to do, which is completely normal, like a launch or a new lead magnet that we're launching and we were like sprinting in ad spend or whatnot. But most of the time in the macro level, they see businesses in year, 5 years, 10 years, and which is pretty cool. It's a different way of seeing businesses. Again, the habit with these people was that obviously they're mature business owners. They understand the strategy behind different plans, and ultimately they have leaders in different parts of the business because there's only one CEO or one owner, maybe co-owner. There's only one of them, and it's very hard to scale one person or two people. They have to have different teams. The habit was delegation. The habit was understanding business. The habit was strategy planning. And more so than that was understanding business to a very, very granular level. But all in all, what I taught all of these businesses, 10K a month, 100K a month, $1 million a month, what I teach my clients, what I teach all of the partners that I work with is literally just 3 things. And it's very simplified. Obviously, for people just doing 10K a month, we don't focus on a lot of things because they need just the foundations and they need the mindset change. For 100K a month, we work on different things. And for those doing 500K a month and beyond, the work is very different. But all in all of these businesses really need to focus on just 3 things, which is generating attention, monetizing that attention in many different ways, and then obviously creating the operations of a business that actually looks, feels, and operates like a good business. So I actually created a full video training going over all of that. And if you really want to see what all the intricacies of actually running a business are, what that looks like, the SOPs, the sheets, the PDFs, and everything, I have a video training that's down below in the description or somewhere here around my face in this video that you can watch for free. So click on that video, watch that, because that's going to tell you exactly what I did with all of these businesses to get them to the next level. See you in the next one.